all those doubts you are having, you can ask Madam Kolala. She's here.
That's true, my dear brothers.
Now, we agreed that no teacher should ever attend our meetings. Is it because she is your sister, your sister?
No, not like that. Madam Kulala is now the acting deputy. You know that teacher, Mr. Hasubui, resigned after we realized that the gentleman knew so much about this project.
How much did we make after giving out the tenders?
No, we only managed to make 200,000 shillings.
Only 200,000 shillings? You have to do something with the principal.
Okay, gentlemen. If you insist, the way you are insisting, let's do it this way. I shall add you 2 cows each.
2 cows? That's slightly better.
Yeah, a bit better.
This sounds more better.
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. Hello? Yes? The school bus has been involved in an accident.
Accident?
Yes? You are saying the check unit is there. What? I hope they have not seen the jerry cans. No, the bus was not carrying any illegal cargo.
Illegal cargo?
Those things belong to the school.
What's with this? No, is illegal cargo. What does that mean? If they are stopped.
Okay, gentlemen, excuse me. I think we might need to continue with this on another day, because whatever has come up is a bit serious.
But what is this we are hearing?
Another day.
Mr. Principal, our new bus. Our new bus, it's...
Okay, excuse me.
It has broken down, it has broken down.
Just a moment. Who are you?
I'm a parent. I'm a parent, sir.
Just a moment. Have you seen the bus, sir?
Sir, this is important.
No,
listen to this.
Just go and
Our new
bus.
bus... Listen, Mr. Chairman. Listen, Mr. Chairman. Our new bus has broken down, and do you know what it is ferrying? Sir, do you know what it is ferrying? It is ferrying crates and crates of beer.
Yeah?
And yes, sir. And remember the other time our children had to go for music festivals using a matatu. But our new bus is ferrying beer. I think I've got to go to the police. I've got to go to the police.
When a principal, you have to carry the cross.
Carry your cross.
This is too much.
According to the Privatization Commission of Kenya 2008-2009, every institution, public or private, must have a corruption prevention committee whose responsibility will be to formulate the following structures for eliminating corruption: corruption prevention policy, corruption prevention plan, the code of conduct, integrity assurance officers.
The challenges of governance in education, we disconnect in terms of information, and then you have weak management systems because of capacity issues and also issues of integrity. And then the third thing I feel is that what we call the disconnects between there's not a clear flow between the ministry headquarters and the middle level down to the school. You have also the challenges of supervision, weak capacities of people on the ground.
The people appointed to this position may not get adequate training. That at times you are appointed without being well prepared, so you learn on the job, and I think to me that's a major challenge. The government must take training seriously, capacity building and education seriously, and if they are ready to spend billions in salaries, billions in the school, free secondary education, free primary education, I think spending some extra more in training so that this money, they can get value for money, I think to me is something that they must go for. Because what's happening right now, the challenges, the wastage and everything is simply because we have not put in enough on capacity building and on training. We should be able to ensure that we prepare people for management positions. Identify first, train, and then assign the duty.
when teachers are promoted to become heads of institutions, they need to be prepared, empowered, and equipped with the tools to manage their schools. So KESI comes in as the capacity builder so that we give them the tools and the skills to manage these institutions.
My advice to my colleagues is that education is really a service industry, and we are in this sector to support Kenyans, to bring up a new generation of leaders. And we have a golden opportunity to ensure that we instill the right values to these young kids. We train them to be patriotic to this country. We tell them that it is honorable to earn a decent, honest life, and that hard work pays. Therefore, the all virtue of work and hard work, that it is honorable to earn a honest life.
A head teacher actually must be a teacher. And to have been trained as a teacher, you didn't go there because of the money in it. You went there because there is a job to be done. And you must have understood what it entails to get into teaching. And you knew you will not be drinking carelessly wherever you are as a teacher. Leave alone the head. Yes. You will know that your responsibility is not dealing with the papers and the files. It is not somewhere where you make a mistake and rub it out. You are dealing with human beings. These human beings come to you at a tender age, and you see them progressively grow and develop to normal human beings, and even adults, mothers and fathers. And that is a heavy responsibility. And therefore, it means that to begin with, once you choose to be a teacher, you must be able to identify yourself with what it is that makes the best teacher. After that, obviously, is after proving that you are a good teacher, that you are considered to be a head teacher. However, when you are dealing with numbers and when you are dealing with personalities, you might get some people who don't really seem to understand or the role they have gotten into.
KESI, as Kenya Education Staff Institute, as the agency that is responsible for capacity building of staff in education, to deal with competence by creating human resource in education, managers that are able to understand financial, bookkeeping, financial management, very simple, basic things, issues of leadership, strategic leadership, being able to see leadership as an empowerment, and issues of teamwork. You know, where you don't have a head teacher or you know, a BOG that thinks that they are the beginning and the alpha and omega, they are everything, but they see themselves as part of a system that they must, you know, mobilize, so that leaders begin to see themselves as mobilizers, facilitators, not autocratic, authoritative, only directing and directing.
All public offices are required to formulate a corruption prevention policy in order to effectively fight corruption. The policy should state the organization's or the institution's position on corruption, set specific aims and objectives, draw together existing policies and procedures that relate to corruption prevention, outline where further work needs to be done to minimize corruption risks. In order to effectively fight corruption, all public institutions are required to formulate and implement a Corruption Prevention Plan, CPP, that carries out corruption risk assessments and identify loopholes in management systems and practices that facilitate corruption and recommend ways of sealing them. Following the enactment of the Public Officers Ethics Act 2003, all public institutions are expected to develop specific codes of conduct and ethics for their employees to ensure the staff is committed in the discharge of duties. Finally, each public institution should train integrity assurance officers who will be charged with offering technical guidance to the management on the implementation of anti-corruption programs and carry out sensitization workshops. The training is done in consultation with Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, KACC, and the Ministry of Public Service, as well as other stakeholders. With appropriate corruption-fighting mechanism in place, some learning institutions have already successfully taken good governance and integrity to the next level. They have succeeded where many did not, and they are a good example to others. These successes are attributed to the exercise of transparency and accountability in relation to finances, successful self-regulatory in management and prevention of internal and external corruption opportunities in institutions, encouraging by nurturing well a corruption-free culture through awareness creation.
My advice to education managers is to remember that you are entrusted with public resources. You are therefore required to uphold integrity, to be accountable, to be transparent, and exercise good governance. To the teachers and education personnel is that the Kenya Education Staff Institute will continue to offer capacity building services to continue to empower you so that you can continually improve education management for the betterment of public service delivery in our schools.
What I want to tell all the school managers, you are doing a very important job in the country. You are our CEOs, whether you are in charge of a primary school or in charge of a secondary school, you are in charge of that station. And it is very, very important that you own that responsibility. You take it personally. You can hold yourself to account, and you take it as the biggest single national duty you've ever held. If you run a primary school and you do it so successfully, or a secondary school, you have done a huge national duty. And it is not what sanctions we can apply on you. It is not how much we are checking on you. We are relying entirely on your integrity, professional calling, and that your biggest reward in that job is that you can say, when you are there, things were different, and that you took that school to another level, and that that community was better off because of you. We do know that many of you face a lot of challenges, and it is the commitment of the ministry and my office to work with you to make sure that we can give you fast-track training. Every head teacher, primary or secondary, or even nursery center, early childhood center, can competently manage the limited resources you have. We also want you to be innovative, be creative, use local resources that you have in a more creative way, because when you do that, even what we give you, even though it may not be enough, you can go one more step forward. Our goal is to make sure that the education sector in Kenya is vibrant, is of good, high quality, and is producing the human resource that this country needs to move forward in this 21st century. If we are going to be competitive, all that we really need to do is to produce human capital that is competitive. And the place where that happens is in the school. So guys, we are counting on you.
If we could use even 50% of the funds that are allocated to education in a proper and in an efficient way, the quality of education in this country would increase and improve in an exponential way. And the time is now. The teachers must ask themselves, are they serving their country well? They must ask themselves, are they serving the next generation well? They must ask themselves, are they custodians of the future, because they are the ones who have been charged with the task of preparing the next generation. And how best to show it than to utilize the funds in their hands in a proper manner, in an efficient manner, in a honest manner, in a manner that gives best value for money. This is the question. And that is a very personal question. You can account without being accountable. But we want people who are account and they are accountable. And when we have that, Africa and Kenya will be the richer. We'll no longer be called the third world. We are the third world because Many of us behave in a manner that is not designed to benefit our countries. We are the third world because we are in the business of undermining our countries on a daily basis. We are the third world because we do third-rate things, because we privatize that which is public. We are the third world because we have allowed our minds to roam in the arena of primitive accumulation rather than selfless service for the sake of our people. We are the third world because we want to be the third world. The day we decide to do the right things, particularly in the critical arena of the school environment, Africa will never be the same again. My plea to the teachers, go out there and do that which is right. The Bible is still right, that you will still not die hungry when you do the right thing. The Quran is still right, that is right to bend for that which is under the bed. The Hindu Gita is still right, that there is no way to sincerity. Sincerity is the way. Societies are changed by minds and hearts. The Europeans did not come here with the buildings that we now see. They came walking, but all of it was in the mind. Luther King is right. The mind is the standard of the man, and education affects it either positively or negatively.
According to Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, fighting corruption in the education sector starts with us as Kenyan citizens, and it is the responsibility of all of us to join hands in fighting this vice in the following ways. Respect and protect public property to ensure that the resources entrusted to us are used to develop the country. We should avoid engaging in corruption, for example, by not giving or receiving a bribe or falsifying a claim. Be a role model, as this will have attitudinal change to those working with us and or those who have entrusted resources to us. We must appreciate and reward hard work, honesty, and trustworthiness. We should teach children the virtues of honesty, hard work, integrity, and self-discipline. We have to develop interest in national issues. We should refuse to be pressurized to act irregularly and unlawfully. We have to talk to everyone about the evils of corruption. We should report cases of corruption practices to the state organs tasked to deal with corruption. For example, the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, KACC. We must also give advice, direction, and suggestions on how to fight corruption to the management at your place of work.